بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. All praise to Allah Jalla Jalalu has given us an opportunity to witness another year in our life. How many people in the previous year have departed? How many people have departed in the last century? Allah has given us an opportunity to breathe one more day, to see another day, to see another year. Let us capitalize on these benefits and bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Since we enter in a new phase of the Islamic calendar, it's very important that innamal a'malu bin niyat. We should check our intentions and we should see how this year can start, so that in our book of deeds we have an accolade for akhirah. And the Islamic calendar was initiated in the time of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu in the 17th year of Hijri. It is said that a person just returned from Yemen, and after seeing, he told Umar radiallahu anhu, رَأَيْتُ بِالْيَمَنْ شَيْئًا يُسَمُّونَهُ التَّارِيخ. I see people have a system where they stipulate dates. يَكْتُبُونَ مِنْ عَامْ كَذَا وَشَهَرْ كَذَا. And they say that on this date, on this time, normally when you write a letter, etc., it's dated. I've noticed that. So Umar, when he's heard this, said, إِنَّ هَذَا لَحَسَنٌ. This is very good, splendid. So let us prepare. So he called the Sahaba and they made a mashwara. So somebody said on the birth of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam, somebody said when Nabi alayhi salam got nubuwwat, some said hina kharaja muhajiran min Makkah, when Nabi alayhi salam left for hijrat himself. Some said min al-wafat, when Nabi alayhi salam departed from this dunya. So after extensive mashwara, it was decided that they will go by the date which Sahaba made hijrat, and that's why it's called Hijri. That is very significant for this ummah to understand that what made Sahaba utilize this as a criteria for the Islamic calendar. Likewise, any other occasion, whether Nabi alayhi salam was born or he departed, should not be celebrated. And any person himself should not be celebrating any day, whether it's his birthday, whether it's the end of a English calendar. For believers, we will celebrate when the time of death will come. So anyway, mashwara was made, and after this extensive discussion, significantly hijrat, because this ummah has been told ittabi'u millata Ibrahim hanifa, and this ummah has to follow the pattern of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. We've discussed previously on the hijrah day mu'abbad and muwaqqat, and how this ummah also did the temporary and permanent hijrah, and we have been encouraged on this. And the basis of this entire exercise was to show the genuineness of the ultimate sacrifice, where a person leaves their locality, leaves their wealth and possessions, where they leave their family, where they leave their tribe, where they leave everything they are attached to, only for Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. That is breaking the barriers of sacrifice. This ummah has been encouraged, and in the riwayat which great ulama have quoted, Imam Bukhari has started his kitab, innamal a'malu bin niyat. When a person is on that level where everything is for Allah, then his niyat will be correct. وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرٍ مَّا نَوَى فَمَنْ كَانَتْ هِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. When you make hijrat to Allah and His Rasul, then that is your focus, that is your focal point, that is your destination. So you've got option A or option B. من كانت هجرته إلى الدنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. If you want dunya, if you want the things of the dunya, if you want the beautifications of the dunya, then that is what you will get, and you will see and reap the rewards based on your intention and your actions. So the Hijri calendar is very important. The 17th year of Hijri, where it was discussed, and 622 AD, when this calendar was codified, and it was called Sanat al-Idhn, the year where Nabi alayhi salatu was-salam gave the Sahaba permission to make hijrah from Mecca to Medina. The hijrah was for the protection of deen. Al-Muhajiru man hajara. A muhajir is a person who runs away from guna and sins and the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a believer 24/7 is making hijrat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and running away from sin. This month of Muharram is a very barakat and blessed month. أفضل الصيام بعد شهر رمضان شهر الله الذي تدعونه المحرم. That the best fast after the fasting of Ramadan is Muharram. So Nabi alayhi salam has highlighted this, like how Ramadan is the first fast. If we look at any other month, then Muharram with regards nawafil, where you will fast the whole month. Otherwise, individually there are some days that are more virtuous, like the fasting of Arafah, or the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, or the 6 fasts of Shawwal, etc. Likewise, he said, In kunta sa'iman shahran ba'da Ramadan, if you want to fast any other month after Ramadan, فَسُمِ الْمُحَرَّمْ فَإِنَّهُ شَهْرُ اللَّهِ. Fast in Muharram because this is the month of Allah. وَفِيهِ يَوْمٌ تَابَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ عَلَىٰ قَوْمٍ. It is the same month where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had forgiven the previous nations. وَيَتُوبُ عَلَىٰ آخَرِينَ. And it was a month where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave many people. So this is the time of the year where we should excel in ibadah, and amongst the greatest forms of ibadah is fasting. When we start any action and when we end any action, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالْخَوَاتِيمِ. In the beginning of the action and the end of the action, a person looks at that. It is said about Hassan, rahimahullah, used to say, إن الله افتتح السنة بشهر الحرام وختم بشهر الحرام. Allah has started the year with the months of haram and ended the year with the months of haram, أشهر الحرم. فليس شهر في السنة بعد شهر رمضان أعظم عند الله من المحرم. So there is no month more blessed by Allah after Ramadan than Muharram. And it was called Shahrullahil Asam. Shahrullahil Asam. So this is a Mubarak month. Many people in the English calendar make New Year resolutions. They make New Year resolutions. For a believer, we make a resolution every day, every hour, every minute. Our heart and our focus is only to Allah. Otherwise, with regards to the normal New Year resolutions on the 31st of December, many people make resolutions to get fit or to lose weight. But that's a resolution every year. It doesn't ever change. It is said in the New Year, don't forget to make some resolutions you will never keep. Don't forget to make some resolutions you will never keep. Because most people never keep it. No, hang a calendar you will never look at. Because we hang calendars but we don't look at it. When somebody was asked what resolution he made, he said, I will stop procrastinating. My New Year resolution is, I will stop procrastinating. But I need to make my list. I think so I will start tomorrow or next week with my New Year resolution list. So it is empty. The resolutions are completely empty. They say a New Year's resolution is something that gets in 1 year and out the other. It is something that gets in 1 year and out the other. Somebody was asked, What was his New Year resolution? He said, it is to follow through my New Year resolutions. I need to follow through all my New Year resolutions. Because a person makes resolutions every year, but doesn't do anything about it. It should not be that so much conditions have happened in this year, the Islamic calendar. So much signs of Allah. Yet a person does not take lesson and change their life. It is said Abu Uthmaan al-Nahdi, and he was a Sahabi a person who was in the time of ignorance in Islam, and he took part in the battles of the Khilafat of Umar radiallahu anh, and he was amongst the great ulama. He passed away in the 95th year of Hijri, and he lived to approximately 130 years. He used to say, كانوا يعظمون ثلاث عشرات, that in the era, in the time of Sahaba, they should honor 10 days. Which were the three? Al-Ashr al-Akhir min Ramadan, the last 10 days of Ramadan. Wal-Ashr al-Awwal min Dhil Hijjah, the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And Wal-Ashr al-Awwal min al-Muharram, the first 10 days of Muharram. So these are Mubarak Ayyam. Wahab bin Munabbi used to say, Awha Allah ila Musa and mur qawmaka. O Musa, tell your people to get close to Allah in these first 10 days. فَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ الْعَاشِرِ, and when these 10 days end and it's the 10th day, فَلْيَخْرُجُوا إِلَيَّ أَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ, on the 10th of Muharram, tell them to turn to me. It is an opportunity where they will get forgiven. فَمَنْ صَامَ شَهْرَ ذِي الْحِجَّةِ سِوَى الْأَيَّامِ الْمُحَرَّمِ. Now ulama explained that whoever fasted the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah and who was fortunate to go for Hajj, they spend those Mubarak days in obedience of Allah, so they ended the year in style, and they will fast these first 10 days, so it will also be barakah al-mubarakah, in greatness and blessings. So we should start in action with good and end in action with good. In a hadith, ma min hafidhain yarfa'an ila Allah, that any person whose book of deeds go to Allah, فَيَرَى فِي أَوَّلِهَا وَفِي آخِرِهَا خَيْرًا, and Allah sees the beginning and the end, there is good. إِلَّا قَالَ اللَّهُ لِمَلَائِكَتِي, Allah addresses the Farisha, أُشْهِدُكُمْ أَنِّي قَدْ غَفَرْتُ لِعَبْدِي مَا بَيْنَ تَرْفَيْهَا, I forgive my servant between these two times. So the beginning of the year and the end of the year. A person should not make a niyyah to disobey Allah in between, but as a matter of priority, at least we should make sure the beginning and end of the amal is in Allah's obedience. In another riwayat, Ya ibn Adam, اذكرني في أول النهار ساعة ومن آخر النهار ساعة. Remember me in the beginning of the day and the end of the day, I will forgive you between these two moments. So the beginning and the end are very important. Why is Muharram called Shahrullah? Ulama explain, Allah has alluded to something great. Allah does not connect His name to something which is not great. So He has said Shahrullah, this is the month of Allah. Like other ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَطَهِّرْ بَيْتِيَ. When Allah referred to the Baytullah, He said, my house, my house. So like house of Allah belongs to Allah, the month of Allah, Muharram, belongs to Allah. Other ulama explain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I've made this month Muharram and I've coined it the name Muharram. You do what I tell you to do. Don't do anything else. Don't spend your time in anything else. Don't change it. Like in the days of ignorance, people should change these dates and change the months and change the occasions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indicating to us that this is my month. Like our small child takes your possession and utilizes it how he deems fit to, and you rebuke him and you tell him, but it's mine, if you want to use it, ask me. Allah is telling us, this is my month, It is an opportunity to get close to me. So utilize it properly. Those who spend this month properly can get close to me. It is related about many mashayikh, how they used to spend their days of Muharram. It said about Abu Umama and his family. They used to fast. Their habit was in Muharram to fast. And when there was any smoke from the furnace coming out in the day, people should think there were guests in their house. Why? Because they were perpetually fasting. There was no chance they would be eating breakfast or lunch. If ever there was smoke emanating from their houses, people knew they were guests, subhanallah. And it was the habit of Ibn Umar, Hassan Basri, and other great people that they used to fast the entire month of Muharram. And they used to say, إِنَّمَا هُوَ غِذَاءٌ وَعَشَاءٌ هُوَ غِذَاءٌ وَعَشَاءٌ فَإِنْ أَخَّرْتَ غَدَاءَكَ إِلَى عَشَائِكَ أَمْسَيْتَ وَقَدْ كُتِبْتَ فِي دِيوَانِ الصَّائِمِينَ. That your breakfast and your supper has a stipulated time. So you should, if you delay it, then your fast is more splendid. So a fasting person has happiness when he breaks his fast and he meets Allah. So it is said that the fasting people, they will have a special dastarkhan, a banquet under the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَيَأْكُلُونَ وَالنَّاسُ فِي الْحِسَابِ. They will eat and enjoy the bouquet of Allah. They will enjoy the buffet of Allah, while people will be having hisab kitab. People will say, مَا بَالُ هَؤُلَاء يَأْكُلُونَ وَنَحْنُ نُحَاسَبْ. What has happened to these people? They are enjoying the foods while we are having hisab kitab. It's somebody that lands in a private jet and doesn't even have to go to customs or passport control. And here you're still waiting for the bus to come. So they will be told, كَانُوا يَسُومُونَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُفْطِرُونَ. They used to fast and used to enjoy food. Allah speaks about it in the Quran. الصَّائِمِينَ وَالصَّائِمَاتِ كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Thus was ayat were revealed according to Mujahid. فِي الصَّوَّامِ, those people who fast excessively. مَنْ تَرَكَ لِلَّهِ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ وَشَهْوَتَهُ. Whoever leaves your eating, your drink and your desires for Allah, Allah will give you better food and drink which will not end. وَأَزْوَاجًا لَا تَمُوتُ. Allah will give you wives which will not die. So these are Mubarak days. Let us see how we can spend it in the obedience of Allah. It is said about Aswad ibn Yazid. He used to fast so much that his body used to become pale. When people used to rebuke him, he used to say, كَرَامَةَ هَذَا الْجَسَدْ أُرِيدُ. I want to honor my body. I want to honor my body. Abu Bakr ibn Abi Maryam, when somebody entered, he was fasting and he was on the throes of death. They brought water. He asked, غَرَبَتِ الشَّمْسِ, the sunset. They said no. He said, then I cannot have anything. Again, the throes of death became severe. They told him, yes, some water. He said, غَرَبَتِ الشَّمْسِ. Did the sun set? They said yes. Then he agreed to have water. As droplets of water were poured in his mouth, his ruh left him. Ibrahim ibn Hani, who was very habitual of fasting, one day also sought water, and he asked, did the sun set while he was in the throes of death? People told him, but you are in the throes of death and this is nafal, not farz. He said, wait, لِمِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيَعْمَلِ الْعَامِلُونَ. It's for these days that those who want to strive for Allah should strive. And his ruh left like that, and he never made iftar. His ruh left and he never made iftar. The amal for today is to make the dua for afiyah. Sallallahu al-afwa wal-afiyah. Ask Allah for afiyah. فَإِنَّ أَحَدًا لَمْ يُؤْطَى بَعْدَ الْيَقِينِ خَيْرًا مِنَ الْعَافِيَةِ. There is nothing more better to ask after yaqeen. The dua which is manqul. اللهم إني أسألك المعافى في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم إني أسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. If we don't even know the dua, you say, Ya Allah, give me afiyah. Bas, may Allah give us tawfiq of making amal wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.